Hey, what's up guys, Adam here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how I save over 50% of my income and the 5 steps that I took to get to that position. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So step number 1 was to stop financing products. Now, we all know car finance tends to be the most frequent thing that people tend to make monthly payments towards. And speaking from my own personal experience, there's nothing more painful than watching that monthly car payment on the statement every single month. And what makes it worse is that it's a depreciating asset, and along with that you also have to pay to maintain the car as well, the operation of the car. So running a car on finance is by far probably the most expensive way to operate a motor vehicle, and I would definitely recommend that if you're looking to buy a car, for example, or any other item, this crosses over to things like phones, holidays, just save up for it and pay it all in cash. If you want to buy a car, buy an older car where you can pretty much buy straight up with cash, and try and get off the habit of financing for items. It's something that I've had to try and do. I know it can be really tempting to say, oh, it's only that amount per month, or I can get it for that financing option. No, financing is one of the most crippling things you can have on your income statement. So one of the best things that I could possibly do was to stop financing products. Even down to things like my car insurance and my car tax. All these things now I just pay in full. I don't have any monthly payments going towards them because both of those items accrue interest. So it's really just about trying to shop around and trying to find the best deals. And you'll realize when you, for example, with car insurance, when you do shop around and you actually pay it outright, you'll see the difference from when you pay it outright versus when you actually make monthly payments. So it's difficult to do because it can be quite expensive up front, especially if you're a young driver or you're a new driver. For example, car insurance can be quite expensive. But me personally, I find it a lot more efficient to just pay all up front, and it's done, dusted. I can forget about it, and even to the next point I can actually save up for the following year when it comes to the renewal point for the car insurance. So anything that I had that was originally on finance is now off finance, and anything that was on direct debit in terms of outgoing payments, I now, if there's a yearly option, I will just pay it all up front within the year. So step number 2 is to pay myself first. Now you're probably thinking, well, what does that exactly mean? Well, that basically means is I'm setting myself some money aside, which comes out of my salary immediately on payday and goes into my either investment pot or my savings pot. And why you want to have that set up aside ahead of time is so what normally happens is when you actually spend throughout the month, when you get to the end of the month, you'll realize there isn't really much left over for savings. So if you pay yourself first and put that money aside into your savings pot or your investment pot, you'll definitely know it's going to definitely go there, rather than gambling at the end of the month hoping that you still have some money left over to put into those pots. So paying yourself first is effectively setting yourself up for the future, and the future you will actually thank you for doing that. So step 3 is budget. Oh yes, budget. Now I know a lot of people don't like the term budget, but trust me, you will thank yourself when you have a budget in place. Now I use something called a zero-based budget. That basically means that every pound within my income has a specific role, has a specific job that needs to be done. Whether that be, allocated towards bills, for example, your water bill, your mortgage, your gas bill, or whether it's be for something a bit more lax, like, a phone contract, a gym membership, a Netflix membership, anything like that. There's always a role for your money in that budget. So basically by the time you get to the very bottom, hence the term zero-based budget, all of that income should be allocated somewhere, so you don't end up with the problem with wondering where has your money gone for the entire month, because the budget will tell you exactly where your money has gone and to what. Now having a budget is really crucial, probably one of the key pillars you want to have in place if you're working towards becoming financially free. So step number 4 was to actually set goals. Now what you want to do is set a sensible goal. So for example, a non-sensible goal would be something like this: I want to retire early. Well, that's very vague. There isn't really nothing to track there. You haven't set out a roadmap. So let's go ahead and underpin that and see how we can create that into a SMART goal. Now the goal that you set needs to be SMART. So SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. So the goal needs to be able to cover all of those 5 pillars in order to be a successful goal. Okay then, so let's go back to that example that we used before, retiring early, but let's make it a bit more of a successful goal. So let's say I want to retire at the age of 35. To do that, I'm going to invest £500 of my monthly income into the stock market, because I know the stock market is going to give me average returns of 8%. I'm going to do that for the next 10 years. When I get to that 10-year mark, I'm then going to draw down 4% of that portfolio, and I'm going to use that as my income to live on in my early retirement. Now, that goal is a lot better than just saying I just want to retire early, because we've actually been able to make it more specific. It's definitely measurable because we put a time frame on there. It's attainable because, as I said before, we can actually go look on the stock market reputation and we can see the stock market averages around about 8% return, so it's attainable. Is it realistic? Yes, it is, because we can check back on our budget and see, well, are we able to make those contributions to the stock market on a monthly basis? And it's time bound. For example, I'm 24. If I was to set that goal for me at 35, that'll be 11 years time. So therefore, we've actually set a time margin that say it needs to be done within the next 11 years. So setting goals is really crucial in order for you to actually get to a point where you're happy and start making those strides towards financial freedom. So step number 5 is to stay at home. Now, I'm not trying to make any political statement here or trying to sound like Boris 2.0, but what I mean by stay at home is if you're currently living with your parents, don't feel the need that you have to race out and go and get your own place. I mean, unless you're looking to get married or you're moving away for a job opportunity or you just simply don't get along with your parents or family, if you're not in any of those situations, then it's probably best for you to stay at home and make the most of your situation and try and build up your portfolio, build up your investments and build up your savings whilst you are staying at home. Personally, I still live at home and I'm able to put my investment goals and my savings goals into overdrive as a result. So when it does get to the point I'm ready to buy my own property, I'm able to be in a strong financial position to just do that. So guys, that's been the 5 steps that I have taken to save over 50% of my income. So those steps are: avoid trying to buy anything through finance, paying yourself first, budgeting, setting goals, and if you can, stay at home. So anyway guys, that's been the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give me a big thumbs up down below. If you want to see more videos like this, including investing, personal finance, videography, business, this is the channel for it, so hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when we actually upload to this channel. And if you have any further questions or comments, you know where to leave them in the comment section down below. Anyway guys, it's been Adam here. Thank you for watching. Take care, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.